Hey YouTube, Mike here. How are we all doing today? Happy 4th of July, happy Independence Day. I hope we're all doing good out there. I hope we're all safe. I hope we're all working very good. We're all busy. Okay, I apologize for the 2 weeks, but between being extremely busy still, I've been doing some traveling. And for those of you that follow me on the Instagram, excuse me, I have traveled to, so far to Destin, Florida. A couple of weeks ago I had a plumber and his helper come down, well, get me off of my other channel, the Rinnai guy, and travel down from Destin, Florida, which is about 5.5 hours away from where I am. And he wanted me to train him. He wants to get into tankless heaters in his area. It's very big down there and there's nobody installing or servicing them. So I said, sure. I says, here's a better deal. He called me up like on a Wednesday. I said, come down on Monday and I'm installing a Rinnai tankless heater in someone's house, and you can just sit there and watch and I'll go over it with you. And then from there, I happened to have gotten an emergency service call in one of my bed and breakfasts where he got to come and see me troubleshoot and fix the problem. And then I brought him to my shop where we went over the units that I have hanging on the wall. Well, a few days later, he calls me up after, he leaves. He calls me up and he sold a bunch of them. And he asked well, we actually talked while we were there, and he said, look, would you come down for a day or two, and I'll pay you to install these for me, with me. I said, yeah, that'd be no problem. Like 2 days later, he calls me up. He sold 2 of these condensing recirculating units. So we decided to drive down there with the truck and do it with them. So we basically had to unload everything unnecessary out of the truck just to bring the weight down. I didn't want to drive. Well, with the truck, it was 6 hours. I didn't want to drive with all that weight. We unloaded the truck and we left Sunday night. And we were supposed to do one big, massive job. And again, I'll put my Instagram below and look at this job. It was the largest job that I've ever installed on a tankless heater. A massive house and a massive job. And we got it done 2 o'clock. We were all done, fired up. People had hot water back on again. But it was very interesting. Just look at the Instagram and you'll see it. I'll put my Instagram channel below in the description. But what we figured was one of the jobs, we had to go into a crawl space. It was about, I could stand up in the rafters. All spray foamed. It was like 65, 70 degrees in the crawl space. And I sat on one of those rolling automotive stools, and that's what I sat on to work on the tankless heater mounted on the concrete wall. And we reconfigured our Packout on the truck. So as you can see here, I have now got more Packout stuff because my son and I got a great idea even to do this with our tankless heaters. So basically in our truck, for those of you that saw the video on the truck, I have a whole Packout system, including the rolling bottom, and then the medium, the small, and then all the other ones above to a basket. But the thing stands about that tall with 2 Festool totes in it, the large tote and the small tote. And I have the Milwaukee basket that we use to bring in our PVC fittings. So what we decided to do is, I actually have, I had to buy just 2 of them. What we decided to do, and I'm going to have a video on it and photos, we're going to get rid of our Vetapro bags, and we're going to get 2 of the larger ones, and we're going to mount these to where our Vetapro bags are and lock them in there. And that'll keep our basic tools in them, which would then give us more room behind the shelf we can keep other stuff. So that's 2 of them, one for my tools, one for my son's tools. Then the third one, which I already have, what we're going to do is we took out the rolling part of the pack-out system. We're just going to leave that in the back of the truck. Then I'm going to screw this to the floor, and then I'm going to mount the other pieces, which one will bring the height of the pack-out down drastically. And that's where we keep all our fittings. Like, you know, we'll keep in a box like this. I'll show you in 2 seconds. We keep all the fittings for our for kitchen sinks and bathroom sinks. So what I decided to do was to set up a rolling box with one of these small boxes. This is the customized foam, 2 of the bin boxes, and then 2 of these boxes. Now this is empty. We do have one already set up where inside of this box, this is the one that has the 6, it's not done, you know, it's new. It's got the 6 compartments plus the tray, and we keep all our Uponor fittings in here. Well, just a basic stuff, not like anything fancy. We just keep basic stuff, and then in the top here, we carry a couple of oddball things and some tools that we need for to install Uponor, the Uponor fittings. So, but in the second one, we're going to keep our gas fittings, and those 2 will be mounted on the top. Then we have these boxes, which are the bin boxes, but they're the small bin boxes, and that's the one that has the 8 smaller compartments and the 2 large. And in here, we're going to keep our rings, just our rings and strapping and things that we need to support the pipe. Now, our intentions is to lock these onto the rolling pack out and roll it in to the job site. And inside of it, we'll have everything that we need to install a tankless heater at hand, right there, right with the pack-out system. And then, of course, you know, we use the wall table to put our stuff on. So we're going to have 2 of these, but I mean, I don't know if I'm going to use the second one, but I got one. That, you know, they weren't that expensive today. Now this box is the customized foam box. Now the like I showed you in the 2 weeks ago when I bought that other Uponor machine, I'm going to put our Uponor machine in here because it's kizan foam. It's kizan foam that's in it, custom, you know, made for them from, you know, for Milwaukee, for this box. I'm going to put my Uponor machine in here, the heads, grease, a rag, and then like here, like here, this is something I picked up from Rigid. It's a reamer. So basically, when you're going to use for CPVC and you're going to use a shark bite fitting, you're going to ream it. So that's all going to go into here. So everything that we need is in this box that we would need to do cold expansion, which is the Uponor system. And that'll go in here. Then I picked up, but I do have quite a few of the medium ones. I picked up the small one that we're going to be able to put, like, see, I needed a long bit to reach back behind the tankless heater to get the screws for the bottom mounting brackets, so that'll go in here. Then I picked up one of these, another one of these saws. It's a folding jab saw. Let me grab my scissor. Hold on a second. The scissor, here we are. Which actually I do need another scissor. So in here, we use the heck out of this. This thing we love. We have a couple of these. But again, for those of you that know me, I don't like to just, I want to just grab something and come in. So this is nice. You release the blade will go right in, then you push the button and it folds up. Put a wood blade, metal blade, but we use this to cut either the copper or the CPVC to adapt to our Uponor, and then we'll need the reamer to ream it to make it beveled and nice and smooth inside and slap on our shark bite fitting. And then I picked up, well, of course I needed some cutter wheels for our in-place cutter. Then I got another one of these PEX cutters. Now, these PEX cutters are great for cutting PEX, CPVC, but for Uponor, which is type A PEX, you have to make sure you have a nice sharp blade. So we changed these blades, and I even carry a sharpening key for the blade just to get me a little bit extra. And then probably every month we swap out the blade. That'll go in there. Then, oh, I needed, this is a magnetizer, demagnetizer. And I dropped it. But it's nice and small. And it's, what is this one? Oh, it's Klein. So basically, you magnetize and demagnetize your screwdriver tips. And that's good for when we're taking pieces out of the inside of a tankless heater. And it'll keep the screws on there. Okay, I grabbed a 6, a 10, and a 12-inch adjustable. And what we use these for is, a lot of our stuff we use is flare. They're flare fittings, whether it be for the pre-made gas flexes, or if we flare something, these are the wrenches that we use. Besides, we do have open-end wrenches, and we do have flaring wrenches that we use. So that's all going to fit in. I'm not going to go open everything. That'll all fit in here. They won't. We'll open these later. All right, then I picked up a set of hole saw bits, and it's the dozer bits. We use a lot of these, and it's from 3/4 to 2.5, and it comes with both arbors. And this is the arbor that's the quick connect one. It doesn't have the screw on it. Here, let me show you. So basically, you screw that in until you have, see those holes right there? They align with the pins, and then you just push forward. And there's a gap there, so it won't tighten down, and then you need 2 wrenches to undo it. Once you drill your hole and extract the core, you just pull back and pull it off and switch it out to another bit. Comes with an Allen key to change. Comes with your Allen key that changes your centering bit. And it does have provisions for more centering bits. All right, now let's get to this here. This is the first that I own. And we thought this would have been a good idea to have this at this job. Get this strap off here. Because it would have worked out better to, it's getting hot here in Florida. It would have worked out really good for 2 reasons. One, we could have wheeled, and he ended up bringing his own dolly, the other plumber, but we could have wheeled the tankless in, just laid it down on top of this and wheeled it in. I mean, it'll handle 250 pounds, and this is the dolly. Again, I'll put all the model numbers and pricing in the description below. This is the dolly. So what we're going to use this for is if we have to bring in a whole nother set of Packout, we're going to use the dolly. And if we're going to wheel in the tankless heater, we put put it onto this, and I'm positive, because I can see it in the picture here. Yep, we have 2 out of the 4 are locking casters. So it'll stay in one position. So we're not going to go through, I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory how to put it together. They snap in, the springs go in, the springs are used for the handle. But I'll get it assembled and I'll show it on the next video. But this would have definitely paid off. But then, like I said, the guy had his own dolly. I had to grab another ruler, because my ruler. But what I picked up, because a lot of this stuff also, I'm probably going to be putting a second truck on the road. One of my old mechanics, a really good worker that worked for me on Long Island, he called and said he wants to come move to Florida. And would I hire him? I said yes. So looking to put a second truck on the road. So that's another thing that I'm doing, is I'm going to leave everything in that truck, and then I have pretty much all my tools in the pickup, but I just need other stuff. So I picked this up because they were always out of stock on this one. This is I like to keep it, and I have actually a Wera Velcro bag, and basically it's a screwdriver set with a small ratchet. So it has that tiny little ratchet, and it's a screwdriver, Torx, and Allen set. And I like these because they're nice and small, they're nice and compact. When I have to bring them in for something quick, you know, it's very simple to pull right off your visor. Then I needed another set of these Allen keys. Have been phenomenal for us. It's an SAE set, but it's in a nice, and most of ours are you know, except there's no really Allen screws on our Rinnais, but it's an SAE set in a nice Velcro case, color coded, and it has the ball end and the Allen end on it. So I have this set in my tool bag on my truck, and I wanted one here on my pickup truck because it's just I use it all the time. And then what I found, and for those of you that follow me on my Rinnai Guy channel, I found these, actually somebody sent them to me, and when we install these condensing recirculation units, we have to supply 2 check valves, and they have to go on the recirc line and on the cold water line to prevent water from backing up. And it's a check valve, that's screw, and then we have to put 2 whoop and oil adapters in it. It cost around $28 to make it up, times 2. Somebody sent me this from SharkBite. Now we have to use spring-loaded. This is a spring-loaded SharkBite check valve. So basically, that's what the reamer is for. Once we ream it, we just pop this in. There's direction of an arrow. And now, besides us saving money, it looks better on because this thing was an IPS valve with 2 adapters in it that we would splice into the pipe, and it just looked ugly. This thing will make it look so streamlined, and I actually found it in another Home Depot I went to this morning, and they had them, so I picked up 4 of them, and they were only like $17 a piece. So besides saving some money, it looks better. So yeah, that's about it. That's about it what I picked up new with the Packout. So we actually have our first tankless Monday. We took off yesterday too, so I didn't. I still had to work a half a day. That's how busy we are. I went and somebody's tankless was dead, so they had another one in the house. So we'll be trying this out, Packout system, on Monday. So look in the Instagram because I'll have photos of it, and then in the next video I'll let you know how we made out. All right, YouTube. Again, I think I closed on 13,000 subscribes. Thank you again very much. I greatly appreciate it. Keep those questions and comments coming. I'm trying to answer as best as I can, but it's just, God, like I said, I've never been this busy. And by the time we get home, I'm exhausted. It's just so tiresome. So that's why I gave my son and my daughter off yesterday, and at least I had a half a day yesterday, and then today and tomorrow. Actually, tomorrow's my son's birthday. Today would have been my father's birthday. He was born July 4th. And my son was born the day after. And then in 1 week, my middle daughter's birthday, my editor. So we have a lot of birthdays coming up. But it's fun. All right, YouTube. I'll have all of the model numbers and pricing below, and the description in the description below, and we'll go from there. Alrighty, you all be safe on this 4th of July, and I will see you on the next video. Take care now. Bye-bye.